In this video, we are just going to execute more Python scripts. I'm creating this playlist, this series for my Python course, for the beginning part of Python course, and I'm uploading them here in YouTube, just those particular parts. It's because I want you to be familiar with executing code before we start to write code, right? All our courses, most courses you take, they just jump right into, hey, let's write Python script. This is how you write if-else statements. This is how to do variables and things like that. But initially, it's a good idea to run something that already exists, just executing it. You don't have to know how to write code to be able to run code. There's a lot of manual testers that execute automation. They don't know how to write the automation code, but they can run it. So that's what we're trying to get into, all right? So in this video, I have several scripts, about 4 or something scripts that I'm providing. You will find it in the description, the link to GitHub, download that. We're gonna do it all in the video. So we are going to execute those scripts and just get familiar with navigating and executing scripts. So if you have any questions, put them in the comment. Give the video a like, subscribe. If you have not, all I do is create educational content related to QA automation and software engineering and test. So anything you need, you can ask for help in the comments. You can send me a message and check out my programs. I do teach. I have one-on-one coaching as well as membership, which is free for a whole month, all the courses. So check that out. Enjoy this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's jump right into it. We're going to continue to practice to run existing code. The point is, let's get comfortable running code that already exists before we even start writing some code. So in previous video, we just wrote or run a hello world script. It's just a simple script that just prints out hello world. And we spent a lot of time on that, even though it's a simple script, because we discussed how to navigate this file system, how to download it, find it, the different concepts of giving it the full path versus the script itself. Now we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to run scripts, Python scripts that are more than just writing hello world, just printing hello world. They do print stuff, but a little bit more. And I have several examples, so we're going to go through them. So we're going to focus more on just doing it instead of explaining every single thing about the cd command, ls command, folder this, folder that, right? It's practice. So I highly encourage you to do this if you are new to this field. Just get comfortable moving around the terminal and get comfortable just running scripts, all right? So I have this repository. This will be in the description. There are 3 different folders, and we're going to get to that. So because we have different examples in this one. All right. So as always, the code is in GitHub. So you come here and you try to understand what the repository is about, what this project is about. It says, hey, this is part of Python course. There's 5 different Python scripts. This can grow. Eventually, I just prepared this. I used AI to generate all this code, went through it, tested it, and now I'm presenting it to you. And showing you the structure of what each folder is. This is typical. Sometimes you see this. Basically, it will show you what are all the folders here. You see a folder, but what's inside of it is just a quick glance. There is one that says system monitor, and you can see there's a Python script and it has its own README. So information about this particular package will be in this README. Information about this particular package, inside of this, there is another one, right? There's a folder called tools. There is a folder called maths. There's a README. So when we're trying to run each script, there's a README that talks about that particular script. So we're going to go through that. This README is at top level. So we have the 3 folders and we have the README. What we're seeing here, all this rendered content is part of this README MD. Okay, since this is in the root of the repository, it gets rendered like this. We see it all formatted and everything. All right, so it shows you the available files and folder structure. Then it talks about how to run it basically. So it's saying you go to system monitor, then you run the script system info.py. You go to cd tools security, you go to the folder tools security, and is going to run this script. Okay, so we're going to do all of those. And in this video, I'm going to do it on a Mac instead of going back and forth for this one. And then I'll create another video for Windows. So this is specifically doing all those things on Mac. But so Windows users, I do recommend you watch them because you're going to be doing Linux stuff in the future, in the very near future. So, and the stuff we do on a Mac is identical to what we would do on a Linux environment. So I definitely would want you to watch it, and then you can watch the Windows part and exercise with me while I'm doing it. All right. So that's my recommendation. So these are the scripts. We're going to go into each one, so I don't want to spend too much time. So you will start by reading this and understanding what it is. So the first assignment for us right now is to run this system info.py, right? So we can go there if we want to read about it. We go to system monitor. Inside of system monitor, there's a folder called system info. There's a readme. As soon as we open that folder, the readme gets rendered. So there's information here about that particular script. So you run the script and it's going to display stuff about your information. So if you're watching this as part of the Python course, I'm going to ask you to post in the community the output you're going to get. We're going to run the script. We're going to get an output, and I want you to go ahead and post it in our community, all right? And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So this just tells you, I wish I have an example of the actual output, but this is what is going to output. So let's go ahead and run the script. So now, what do we need? We don't run it on the browser, right? We're going to need this code in our local environment, in our computer. So the right term for that is we're going to need to check out the code. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it with Git, but I'm not going to expect you to do that just like the previous one, but I'm going to move a little bit faster. So first we can do download and download zip, right? Just like that. I mean, you code download zip, and this is going to download it into wherever you select. It actually lets you select it, and it's going to put it into the download folder. It says zip here, we can unzip it. Another way is you're going to do a git clone. So if I ask you, hey, go ahead and clone this repository, and if you understand what I mean and if you just go do it, then you got the basics down. If you don't, you're going to get there. There's a process in your roadmap, the roadmap that I outlined for you. There's a part that's going to say, hey, pause what you're doing right now, go learn Git. That is coming, so don't worry about that, okay? You'll get there if you have not done it yet. But let me quickly show you what I'll do. Before I get there now, again, I want you to be organized, right? I downloaded it to the downloads folder. I don't want to keep it there. I don't want to keep everything, because everything I do is going to go to the downloads folder. I want my projects to be clean, separate in their own things. So I will have to decide, where am I going to put this in? So I'm going to open a new tab. Then I'm going to click on go. I'm going to go desktop. Right? So in desktop, you're going to create a folder and you're going to name it anything. Now, previously in the one of the previous videos when we were preparing for the course, I made you create a folder called like automation or something. Then inside of automation, super SQA code, my code, this code. Now I could go into the same folder and do the same thing, but I'm just going to create a new one here. So if you're thinking like, oh, why is he creating a new folder? Because it's practice, right? So think about it for yourself. Do you want to create a new folder or use the same folder? Because the main thing is not what folder you use, is the fact that you understand the fact that we create folders. It's just folders or directories. I should say directories to be more professional. Directories are for us to just be organized. That's what it is. So you should not be confused or upset that I created a new directory, right? You should be thinking, putting your engineering hat and be like, okay, he created a new directory. That's how he chose to be organized. How do I choose to be organized? So you're going to go ahead and create a new directory or use the one you already created. It's a matter of just moving files around, moving folders around. All right. So I want to make sure, but I do want you to get it out of download. I want to make sure you take that initiative or take action to get the stuff out of download and consciously make a decision where it's going to be. That's going to help you. If you just download it into downloads folder and start working on it, in your brain, you never had to register where it is at, right? But if you move it somewhere in your brain, you automatically register the fact that the script or the project exists somewhere. So when you need to run it, that you know that you need to go somewhere. So I'm 100% going to push on that. Do not keep it in downloads. All right, so I'm going to go to desktop. I'm going to create a new folder. Let me call it my projects, right? I can keep it simple like that. I can have my automation. I can call it my scripts, or I can just say my demo scripts. Okay, so now that's an empty folder. Now, if I wanted to do the Git way of cloning it, what do I do? So I need a terminal. So I'm going to open the terminal, and I need to go to that folder where I want my stuff. So here, usually if I do pwd, as soon as you open a brand new terminal on a Mac, it's going to take you to your root. It's same on Windows. It's going to take you to your root. So I'm in here, so I need to go to desktop. If I do ls, I see that desktop is one of them. It starts from the root. So there's a desktop folder, so I can go there. So I'm going to clear the screen. I'm going to go cd desktop. All right, I'm in there. Now, once I'm in desktop, I want to go to my demo scripts. So cd my demo scripts. All right, if I do ls, there's nothing there. Here is where I want my stuff. This is my demo code script. It's empty. That's where I want it. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to copy the code. I'm going to HTTPS to make it easy for you. Copy that, right? This, by the way, this is a public repository, so this is exactly what you're going to do, except for the git part. So I'm going to do git clone that folder. So this git clone command just downloaded that folder. I don't have to unzip it or anything. Then inside of my folder, as you remember, it was empty. Now I have this folder. Inside of that folder, it has everything. So this is the repository. So that's a Git way. All I did is create a folder. When there, do git clone. Feel free to do that. Feel free to skip it. I'm going to delete it because that's not how I want you to do it. Right? Because people are not ready for Git yet. Most people are not. If you are, congratulations, you're doing great. So here, now it's an empty folder. So now I'm going to go to downloads. I'm going to unzip it. Double click that. That's the one I downloaded, right? I went here, click on code, downloaded zip. That got zipped into, downloaded into the downloads folder as a zip. I double click it. Now I have a folder that is not zipped. So now I'm going to delete the zip to keep my stuff clean. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it, right, this folder copy, and I'm going to come to my new folder where I want, and I am going to paste it, paste item. Okay, now I have it here. I also have it in downloads. I can delete it to be clean. Now I have it where I need it. Okay, so the next thing is I know what file I want to run, what Python script I want to execute. I want to execute this system info script, right? So I can just, in the terminal, I can just literally go there and just execute it. I can do that real quick. In fact, it won't take me time. Let me open a new terminal, Command N, and I'm just going to navigate to it. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to navigate to the script and then basically execute it, right? Pretty straightforward. So here, as soon as I open a new terminal, I am in my root. I'm going to do lowercase. So I'm going to go cd desktop, hit enter, cd my demo scripts, hit enter. If I do ls, I have that folder. I'm going to go to cd Python scripts. I'm in that folder. Finally, I'm in the actual folder that I downloaded, right? I just went inside of the script. Once I go inside of the script, I should see system monitor tools utilities. If I do ls, I see those system monitor tools utilities. Now I go to cd system monitor. Now I went inside of system monitor, which I should see the readme in the system info. If I do ls, I see those two. Now I'm here. This time I can just run the script, right? So let me clear this to make it easy to see. Now to run the script, all I do is Python in the script name, but I need to know, do I do Python or do I do Python 3? If I do Python -version, it should show me Python -version. I have a typo. It should show me what Python would run. If I just say Python on my machine, it's going to run Python 2. I have to be careful with that. If I do Python 3 -version, it's going to say Python 3.11. So if I want to run Python 3, which the script requires, I need to do Python 3. So to quickly show you what would happen, if I just do Python and then the script name, systeminfo.py, I'm going to get an error because this particular script does not support Python 2. There is this F string that the script is using. It's not supported in Python 2. So I have to use Python 3. So let me clear this. I have to say Python 3 systeminfo.py, hit enter. Voila, it actually executed, it printed some message. So that the point of the script is to go and read information about my system and print it out. It did that. So my username is Admas, the operating system is Darwin, which is a Mac. Architecture is ARM, which just means the Mac chip, the silicon chip. The Python version is this, the directory is this. It looked at my disk storage. I have a terabyte of storage, 800 GB is used, 100 GB is free, things like that, right? I just executed it. That's really what you need. So you should get exact same thing except with different values. So you should do that. This is not one of those videos you just watch. You have to be doing it while I'm doing it. So what did you get for yours? Definitely you should see your system. You should say Windows if you're on Windows. It should say Win, I think. And then whatever your architecture is, blah, blah. It should look the same except different values, okay? And I'm going to give you a homework later on. I'm going to put its own lecture just about the homework. I want you to run this and post this in our community. I want to see this in the community. If you're taking this, especially as part of Access Pro, if you're part of the whole training, I want you to take a screenshot of this and post it. There's no secrets here. Like there's no sensitive information here. So the point is, I want you to have that milestone to show me that you actually executed a script. You executed a script and it worked. So I want to see that in the community. That's an action item for you, but I'll put it as part of the lectures. All right. So now what we did is we basically just went and ran this one particular script. We went into the folder and just ran one particular script. We never opened it. We never did anything. But normally, once you download a folder, which is the folder we downloaded, the Python script collection demo main, that is our main project. Normally, as soon as you download a project, you open it in VS Code or PyCharm or whatever IDE you want to use. So I'm going to do it in VS Code. Let's open it in VS Code, then we'll open it in PyCharm. So I'm going to go to VS Code. When you open VS Code, you might get like the previous project, whatever project you were working on, like this, or you might even get like a welcome screen. Let me see. If I click on new window, I think you might get a welcome screen like this. It doesn't matter. There's ways to get to the folder. You can see that it says open here. You can do that if you have the welcome screen. But one thing we all have in common is we have the top menu, right? The top menu, we all have it no matter what status your VS Code is at. So you go to file, you go to open, you're going to do open folder. We're not going to open a file. We're going to open a folder. Open folder. Then you're going to find the folder that you downloaded. That's why you have to know where you put it, right? If you left it downloads, despite me saying don't do that, then you're just going to go to downloads. But like I did, I put it in desktop. Inside of desktop, I created my demo scripts. Inside of demo scripts, I put the actual project. So I could open the project in VS Code or the parent directory that I created. Either way, it would work. So you just have to select the folder. I could even select this particular folder. If I just want that one script, I can open this. What I want to do is I want to open the entire project. So I'm going to click on this folder here. I'm going to click on open. When I do that, it opens here. You might need to play around, click around a little bit. This is this little 2 file thing. That's a navigator. And then if this is all collapsed, you can expand it and see what's under each one. You should see all your files here, the 3 folders, right? The 3 folders you see here are what you see in the project, in the repository. System monitor, tools, utilities. It's the same stuff. So here, the script we're looking at right now, I don't know why it's open because I had it open before. It is inside of system monitor, system info. There you go. We have the script, right? Don't bother reading the script, understand it. You could, feel free, but that's what you're going to get into. We're trying to go learn how to write Python script. So later on, when you learn how to write Python script, you're going to learn all this stuff. What's going on here? What's this all imports about? What is this? What is that? You're going to learn how to do all this. Right now, we just want to just execute it. We just want to run it. So we don't really even have to open it, but hopefully you are curious enough that you want to open it and just look at it, okay? Now that it's open here in our IDE, Integrated Development Environment, I could click on this run button, the play icon. We can do that, hit the drop down. There's a few ways to run it, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to run it to the terminal because that's what you're going to do later on. Everything you do is going to be in the terminal. So you're not going to have the terminal open. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on this thing here, right? The top panel, the bottom panel. Click on that. It will open terminal. And it will open terminal and it will put you in the right folder. It will put you in the folder that your script is, your project is. When you click on open folder, whatever folder you opened. So if you do PWD, it shows you exactly where you are. Desktop, this, that. Literally the place. If we do ls, you see all the files, the folders and files. So what we want is we want the system info. To get to system info, we have to go to system monitor, right, into this folder. So I'm going to do cd system monitor. Inside of there, we have our script. Now we can run the script. I can say Python 3 systeminfo.py, hit enter, and I got all the output, right? The output I get here should be identical to the output I did in the standalone terminal. So in terms of the terminal, whether you do the standalone one or whether you do the one that's built into the IDE, you should be getting the same exact result. Those are the same thing. It's just a terminal. Do you prefer to work on it like on its own standalone window, or do you prefer to work on it here integrated into the IDE? With PyCharm, the same thing. You go to PyCharm and you're going to say file on top, file and open, and you just select the same folder. And you go to desktop and you're going to go to demo scripts and you click on the folder that you want to open and click on open. And it's going to say trust project, new window. I always do new window, so I get my own thing for that particular project. And here you get everything, the same thing, right? Let me make this right there. The same thing. You get system monitor, all the folders and everything. If you want to open the terminal, PyCharm also has an integrated terminal. So you can click on this terminal here. This will open an integrated terminal. Same thing. It will put you in the right folder. So you just go and execute it. Okay. We'll execute more files. So we're going to see it then. Okay. So now you got the basics done. It's just a matter of running more scripts. So inside of system monitor, let's look at this. Inside of system monitor, we did run systeminfo.py. Now let's go run this calculator, right? Tools, maths, calculator. So if we go to tools, All right, and we have maths and security. Let's go to maths, and inside of maths we have the readme, so we can learn more about this particular script, what the script does. So this script, it looks like it takes in command line arguments. We have Python as always, then you have the script, and we can give it 2 numbers and it's going to do some calculation on it. So there's an example here. You're going to say Python, the script name, and parameters. Those are called command line parameters or command line arguments. So here you have Python as executable. You're telling the system, hey, run Python 3, right? That's the application you're going to run. And we're going to say, feed it this calculator script. So I want to run this script itself. I want to execute this script. And this script expects some information to be provided. So you're going to give it information. In this case, we're going to give it 2 numbers, right? Space separated by a space. That's why having a space in the name of your script and the name of folder is a problem, because the way the terminal works is like, there's one command, space, something else, space, something else, space, something else. So if the name itself has a space in it, it doesn't know the thing that comes after the space. Is this some additional information or is it part of the name? It's always going to think it's something additional, right? Space, something new, space, something new. So in this case, executable, space, script name, space, input number 1, space, input number 2, right? That's how it works. So make sure you don't put space in your names, in your folder, your file, any of that. All right, so I'm going to go in Visual Studio Code. Let's just do everything here. We can see that, so I can close this file. Inside of tools, inside of maths, we have the calculator application. You can see what it does. It has a lot of function, adding, multiplying, blah, blah. So we're going to run that. Now I have to go there, right? So if I do PWD, where am I? Let me clear this. If I do PWD, I'm in the system monitor. So I have to get out of system monitor. So I'm going to do cd -- go back out once. Okay. Now where am I? I'm in the root of the project. So now I can go to cd, tools, and maths, right? If I do ls, now I have the script there. All I have to do is run it. I'm going to do Python 3, calculator, and I'm going to give it 2 numbers. Let's give it 2, space, and 5. I hit enter, and here it did a bunch of calculations on the inputs, 2 and 5, when they multiplied, when they divided, when they went 2 in the power of 5, a bunch of other calculations. And let's do it again. And if you have a command you run and you want to run it again, you don't have to type the whole thing, okay? You can hit the up arrow. Just hit the up arrow and change the name. I want to do 15 and 89. 15 space 89. Now it's going to take those 2 numbers and it's going to do some mathematics on that, okay? And now let's say we want to run another script inside of security. We have a file called password generator. If we look at the README for that, the password generator just generates a file with a password, right? It has information here. You can just run the script and you can give it how long you want the password. You want a 10 characters long password, 20 characters long password, or you don't. If you don't specify it, by default, it's going to do 12 characters long. Let's see if it has any other thing. It doesn't. So now let's go run it, right? So where are we? If we do PWD, we are right now in the maths folder. Okay, let me clear this. So we are inside of maths and we want to get into the security. So we want to get out of maths one time. So cd -- to go up 1. If I do ls, now I can go into security. cd security. If I do ls, now the script is there. So I can do Python 3 password generator.py, hit enter. It generated a password that is 12 characters long and it creates a file with it. If I open the file has the content. So every time I run it, it's going to generate a password and it's going to create it into a file. So later on, you can have another script, another Python script that takes that and email it to the people or something like that, right? Let's run it again. So if I do clear, hit the up arrow to go back to my previous command. Let's say I want a password with like 50 characters. I hit run. It created a password with 50 characters and it created a new file. Okay. What else? Let's see. We looked at the maths. We looked at the security. Now we have this utility. Inside of utility, file ops, right? If we look at the file ops, what is it doing? There's a script in there that is going to count how many files there are, right? Just to save time, I'm not going to read it. You guys go ahead and read it. It's up here. You can go to utilities, file ops, and readme, right? You can read what it does, but let's go and run it. Okay, let's say cd. I'm in security, so I have to get out of security. But let me show you that. That's the most important thing, right? You have to remember where you are. Right now, if I try to run it, what's the script name? File counter, right? I try to do Python 3 file counter.py, it's going to say, hey, I can't find it. No such file or directory. That's one thing you have to be good at, is reading errors. There's no file or directory. So as soon as you get this error, I'm like, wait a minute, why does it say no file or directory? Obviously the file is there. That means I'm not in the right place. If I run a command that's saying I can't find it, that means I'm not in the right place. So where am I? I'm going to do pwd. Oh, I'm inside a tools security, but the file I'm looking for is utilities file ops. Oh, okay. I have to go cd one app tools, cd ... another app to the root. Then I can go cd to utilities, then cd to file ops. Okay, now I can run it. I can say Python file counter.py, hit enter. Oh, I have to do Python 3, right? Not Python. Hit enter. It automatically counted by default it counts like the current folder, I believe, and it counted, like, looked at the sample files and it said, hey, there's one log file, there's one JSON file, there's one CSV, 2 Python files, and things like that. Okay, so that's really what it is. You just navigate. I'll give you a homework real quick right now. Go ahead and run this time ops. It's a timer that read it and figure out how to run it. In fact, we just run a few of them, so I'll make that a homework. Go ahead and run it. The only thing is, when you run in the timer, it might not finish. If it doesn't finish, you can do Control C to kill it. Any terminal, anything stuck in the terminal that's just going and going and going, and you'll be like, oh, I want to just stop. Control C will kill it. Hold Control and press C. All right. Okay, so that is what it is for this video. What I wanted to cover is running different scripts. We run like 4 or 5 different scripts. Some scripts take command line arguments, some don't. In this case, in the calculator, if I type history, look at everything we did. When we run this Python script, the password generator, it did take a command line argument, which is the number of characters we want our password. If we look at, let me see, if I do history 100, I think I can get more history. When we do the calculator, we did Python 3, the executable, the script, then a bunch of options. This particular calculator needs 2 things, so we're going to give both separated by space, the first item, space, the second item. And we looked at the system info, which does not require any command line parameters. All you do is just run the script without passing in any command line parameters. So I'm going to make that a homework. In fact, in the next lecture, I'll just put a written lecture that explains, that just makes it so that it is in your list to run this one. That's the only file that we did not run in this whole repository. Okay. Hopefully you were able to follow along and you didn't just watch, you actually executed the scripts. If you have any questions, let me know, put it in the community. And if you're watching this on YouTube, because I do want to put this on YouTube, go ahead and put a comment and let me know what you think about this. I'll see you on the next one.